Breaking developments surrounding actor Clifton Powell have once again drawn public attention to a case that has unfolded quietly over more than a decade, raising broader questions about how reputations are shaped and, in some cases, permanently altered by events that extend far beyond the courtroom. Powell, a veteran character actor with more than 30 years in the industry, is best known for roles that made him instantly recognizable to audiences, even if his name did not always carry the same level of recognition. Now, with confirmation that his long-running legal battle has officially concluded without any criminal conviction, the focus has shifted to a more complicated issue: what the outcome means not just legally, but professionally and personally, and whether resolution truly brings closure. Powell's rise in Hollywood began in the early 1990s, a period marked by a shift toward more diverse storytelling and the emergence of films that reflected urban realities with a new level of intensity. His performance in Menace to Society introduced him to a wider audience and established a pattern that would define much of his career, portraying characters with a sense of realism that resonated with viewers. Over the years, he appeared in a range of productions, including Friday, Rush Hour, and Dead Presidents, building a reputation as an actor who could be relied upon to deliver consistent performances. That reliability became his hallmark, but it also raises an important question: can consistency alone sustain a career when external pressures begin to mount? By the mid-2000s, Powell had reached a point where his work was not only steady but also recognized within the industry. His role in Ray, alongside Jamie Foxx, earned him a nomination for an NAACP Image Award, signaling that his contributions were being acknowledged at a higher level. At that time, his career appeared to be on stable ground, with a steady flow of roles and a reputation for professionalism. However, stability in Hollywood is often more fragile than it appears, and the events that followed would test not only his career but also his ability to navigate a public controversy that unfolded in real time, prompting many to wonder how quickly public perception can shift. The turning point came in 2011, when allegations emerged involving an encounter that quickly became the subject of media attention. The claims were serious, and while Powell denied them from the outset, the story spread rapidly, amplified by the speed and reach of modern media. In situations like this, the distinction between allegation and proven fact can become blurred in the public mind, leading to consequences that take hold long before any legal process is completed. This raises a critical question: when an accusation becomes widely known, is the outcome of a legal case enough to restore what may have already been lost? As the case moved through the legal system, it transitioned into a civil matter, where the standards of proof differ from those in criminal court. Civil cases require a lower threshold of evidence, focusing on what is more likely than not, rather than proof beyond a reasonable doubt. For a public figure, this distinction can have significant implications, as the continuation of a case keeps the issue in the public eye. Over several years, Powell remained involved in legal proceedings that demanded time, resources, and attention, while at the same time attempting to maintain a career in an industry that is highly sensitive to public perception. This period raises another question: how does prolonged legal uncertainty affect professional opportunities in a field driven by image? Reports from that time indicate that Powell experienced a noticeable decline in roles, with projects becoming less frequent and, in some cases, disappearing altogether. While no single factor can be identified as the sole cause, the timing suggests that the ongoing case played a role in shaping industry decisions. Producers and studios, often cautious about potential controversy, may choose to distance themselves from individuals involved in unresolved legal matters. This creates a situation where the process itself becomes a form of consequence, independent of the final outcome, leading to a broader question about whether the entertainment industry can effectively separate legal judgment from public perception. In 2017, the civil case was dismissed due to insufficient evidence, bringing an official end to the legal proceedings. From a legal standpoint, the outcome was clear, with no finding of liability against Powell. However, the conclusion of a case does not automatically reverse the effects of years of public scrutiny. By that point, the momentum that once defined his career had slowed, and the opportunities that had previously been available were no longer as consistent. This raises an important question for both the industry and the public: can a reputation be fully restored after a prolonged period of doubt, even when the legal system has reached a definitive conclusion. Beyond the legal challenges, Powell has also spoken about broader issues within the industry, including the role of appearance and perception in casting decisions. He has described instances in which he believed opportunities were influenced by factors unrelated to talent, suggesting that systemic biases may have played a role in shaping his career path. While such concerns are part of a larger conversation within Hollywood, they add another layer to his story, highlighting how multiple factors can intersect to influence outcomes. This leads to a deeper question: how do structural challenges within an industry interact with individual circumstances to shape a career over time? At the same time, Powell has acknowledged personal decisions that contributed to periods of difficulty, including financial losses related to divorce and gambling. These experiences reflect the pressures that can accompany a career in the public eye, where success is often accompanied by demands that extend beyond the professional sphere. His willingness to discuss these issues suggests an effort to provide context for the challenges he has faced, while also recognizing the role of personal responsibility. This raises another question: to what extent do personal choices and external events combine to determine the trajectory of a public figure's life? Today, with the legal case behind him, Powell's situation remains complex. His body of work continues to reflect decades of contribution to film and television, and his performances remain part of a broader cultural landscape that has evolved over time. At the same time, the impact of the past decade cannot be easily dismissed, as the effects of public scrutiny and professional disruption continue to shape his present circumstances. This leads to a final question: what does the future hold for an actor whose career has been defined by both resilience and controversy? The answer is not entirely clear, but it is evident that Powell's story reflects broader themes that extend beyond any single individual. It highlights the influence of media, the role of public perception, and the challenges of navigating a profession where reputation can change rapidly. For audiences, it serves as a reminder that the outcomes of legal cases are only one part of a larger narrative, and that the effects of controversy can persist long after the headlines fade. As Powell moves forward, the question is no longer about the past alone, but about whether the industry that once relied on his consistency will provide an opportunity for renewal, or whether the consequences of earlier events will continue to shape the path ahead.